Hello, hello. It is Chanda Sparkles. I hope that you can hear me okay. I'm just starting in on this little impromptu live stream that I felt was necessary during these times. We are in what you could call the perfect storm. Yes, we're in the perfect storm. And I must give credit where credit is due. I heard the Leo King come in and say, we're in a perfect storm, even accrediting the movie, The Perfect Storm. And if you haven't watched The Perfect Storm, he and I would say, go look that up because that has a lot of symbology to the energies that we are experiencing at this time. Okay. I am an intuitive, evolutionary, soul-based astrologer and reader, and I've been a seer psychic since birth, basically. And I am very well versed in astrology. I have been studying now for 12 years and working as a professional astrologer based on the soul, okay? Although I am also Hellenistic astrologer and I study the Babylonian ancients as well. And I keep up with the space weather along with looking into your cards if you want to read some cards. But I'm also a sound healer and I study frequencies. And I communicate with the frequencies of the planets, and then we match what is needed to the birth chart in comparison to what's happening with you and in comparison what's happening in the cosmos. And astrology, all it is a study of cycles, basically. It's just a study of cycles. And we use it as a science, and we look back and we say, oh, okay, this happened during this time. And it's the same thing coming up, the same energetics. We can't always pinpoint, although I have done that many times. Can't always pinpoint exactly what's going to be happening, but we can feel and understand the influxes of how it relates to the soul's evolution while the soul is incarnated into a physical flesh suit. You are a powerful being in a flesh suit, right? And so I'm sitting here in my little night dress. And I'm just going to tell you, this morning I woke up and I thought it was Wednesday. I had so much action going on in dream time last night. And I ended up just not even being in my body. Like I was awake, going really fast this morning, thinking I needed to hurry, thinking I needed to be ready, and I was totally not ready, and then I realized after the whole fire drill of coming out of sleep, thinking, oh, I'm late, blah, blah, blah. Fuck, it's Tuesday. No one's coming here between 8 and 10 this morning. So it's that kind of an energy. There's a lot of illusions, delusions, and confusions that go along when you have Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, sitting at the anaretic degree of 29 degrees of Pisces. There was Saturn only just a few degrees away from Neptune, causing all of this. Like Saturn doesn't care to be fluid and flowy and dreamy and escapism and, wanting to just float off into the cosmos, like Neptune. Neptune is, escapisms, all escapisms, good and bad, So the vision that I was given a couple of weeks ago was like the dude in a padded room. Did I say a couple of weeks? I meant to say a couple of days. A couple of days ago was like the dude in a padded room. Like there's like a lot of us that are losing it mentally and not understanding how to deal with that. So when you know your birth chart, which I highly recommend you know your birth chart, okay? If you don't, at least go look up and know your big three, which is your sun, your soul, who you are at a soul core level, your moon, which regulates your intuition and your emotions. It also regulates your day-to-day reality and how you respond emotionally to that day-to-day reality. And the moon changes every 2.5 days. And then your rising sign, which is the perception that other people see in you. It's how you project out, which can be very different than your sun sign degree. Very, very different, right? I am a Scorpio sun in the first house. I hadn't even spoke to houses yet, but that's how. The houses are the how. How is it going to play out? Okay? It's easy. Houses are how. And I'm in the first house of Scorpio with the sun. So that's really strong. And I have a Scorpio rising. My ascendant is Scorpio. And I have a Scorpio Mars in the 12th house. And I have a lot of 12th house hidden energy. And you got to realize when you're dealing with Neptune currently in the cosmos at 29 degrees, it's been 14 years that this planet has gone through, okay? It's been in Pisces for a long time. And it's at that last anaretic degree with Saturn sitting there as the dispositor, supporting it. Neptune is the winner of the cosmos right now. We have Mars, the planet of war, aggressions, passions. Mars is what kicks you in your ass, makes you go in the morning, okay? And it is the ruler, ancient ruler of Scorpio. Modern day ruler of Scorpio would be Pluto. But Mars sitting there with Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, where the sun currently is. Mars is saying, I need to move forward. I need to go. You know, I have desires of my belief structure, and this is what I believe. This is what I want to truly do with my life. This is the adventure, the course, and I'm staying optimistic. You know, there's this optimistic energy when it comes to Sagittarius energy, and that's where we're at currently with the sun, Mars and Black Moon Lilith. Mars and Black Moon Lilith are dancing together exact right now. Black Moon Lilith is the big bad bitch that turned away from God. Okay? Big bad bitch. She don't put up with no shit. And so when you have that energy conjoined with passions, aggressions, you know, it's a lot. It can bring up fears a lot of the time. Black Moon Lilith will bring up our fears. That energy with Mars and Black Moon Lilith is T-squaring over to the north and the south node of fate, of karma. The nodes of our moon, energy centers that evolutionary astrologies can read what the collective energy is going to be going through for an 18-month cycle. This is major, okay? So when Mars and Black Moon Lilith is in a T-square to the North Node Pisces, the North Node is your future. It's the karma. It's the collective that we are moving towards. It's what we're learning to cultivate. The South Node is everything we're learning to release. We're learning to understand on a better, different way, a different level. It is the past, okay? And so past energy, Virgo, over analytical, being critical, being all up like, oh, I've got my ducks in the row. You know, this is how it's going to be. I have a scheduled structure. You know, this is how it needs to work. Blah, 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 blah. It's your day-to-day reality. It's how we heal with medicine. Okay. And you can see all the shift going on in the world around medicines. This is why. We have 6 more months of this. North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Now, North Node in Pisces is with, you guessed it, the Neptune energy and the Saturnian energy. Those 2 planets couldn't be more opposite. They could not be more opposite. And when the North Node says, this is the future, this is the way, this is like God saying, are you following? Are you stepping out in faith? Are you keeping your faith as you step into your next move? If it's not faith-driven, if it's not spiritually driven, it's not going to work. If you're trying to analytical and schedule and plan and prep and all that shit that Virgo does, and you're making that the core essence of what's driving you right now, it's not going to work. Not during this period specifically. because we have 6 more months and we're at the tail end. This is an 18-month cycle, and in 6 more months, they will shift like they always do, and they always shift retrograde. So the North Node will shift from Pisces into Aquarius, and the South Node will shift from Virgo into Leo, okay? And that'll be a whole new 18-month collective cycle. Each one of us on our birth chart has a North Node and a South Node. It's always kind of important for you to know that, because it tells you what your soul intended for you to do in this incarnation, okay? Often not feeling so comfortable when you first hear it. I've had people go, oh, fuck no. No. Even myself, when I first heard it, I was like, oh no, how am I ever going to become a North Node Capricorn? That is so opposite of who I am. It's because you're unfamiliar with it, because your soul didn't choose to come here and do the same thing that it did in other incarnations. You've already mastered the opposite South Node in your birth chart, okay? So not only are we dealing with Mars conjoined to Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius as the sun is there in a T-square over to the North and South nodes, but we're also contending with Venus in Scorpio. Venus does not like to be in Scorpio. Venus rules your money, your wealth, your abundance, your values, your valuables, your beautifications, how you love, how you magnify. And Scorpio is all about the deep, dark depths. I'm not gonna handle the surface level shit that, say, Venus is more into, you know? And so Venus feels very uncomfortable there. She's at detriment, okay? And she is conjoined to Mercury retrograde. I'm sure you've heard of Mercury retrograde. It's all about your communications. You know, it's all about travel and how we get around, our vehicles. I'm sure many people have been experiencing lots of vehicle issues here recently. I know it myself. I had an issue with my refrigerator. I've had an issue with my internet. I've had issues after issues after issues. This has been a real tough period because I am Scorpio. Now, all of this is not always going to affect every single person. Of course not. But if you know your birth chart, it will show you, oh shit, okay, that Mercury retrograde is coming up and it's going to be hitting my sun sign and my Mercury, or whatever it may be for you. It's always kind of good to check it out. It's a science. And don't even get me started, you fucking Christians, on how it's demonic. No, not even a little bit. This is ancient science, older than your Christianity. Just saying. And I am a psychic, so I'm channeling right now. I don't know where that came from. I don't normally bring that forward in the middle of an astrological report, but somebody needed to hear that. You know, there are many of us astrologers who are very much loving, and we were raised Christians. And we are here to work the divine light, but also honor the shadow. And it hurts a lot. You know, I've lost my grandchildren, 2 of them right now, you know, not forever, I don't believe. But for right now, this is the cycle that I'm in. And so I just have to love my daughter and my grandchildren exactly where they're at. And I do, no matter what, you know. And it's her choice. It's her life. She has to make her path and her soul path the way she wants it, right? But it still hurts because I don't get to see them. I don't even get pictures, you know? So what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of fear coming up. There could be a lot of fear and judgments coming up with these energies that are at play this week going into next week. Really, it's the most strong this week, okay? Not only that, Saturn. Let's talk about Saturn. Saturn has stationed. When a planet's stationed as viewed from Earth, it stops in the sky. It doesn't literally stop cosmologically, but from our perspective here on Earth, it stops and it changes directions. Station means stopped. And when Saturn stops, Saturn is our structures, it's father time, it's karma. It is, you can look at Saturn like the wise old grandfather who basically is the one that knows best. and is teaching you lots and lots of very tough lessons. And anytime a planet stations, the frequency energies that they omit will show up in our lives a little bit stronger, and it becomes a little bit harder. But Saturn is stationing to go direct, and I have my calendar out here because I just want to make sure I'm correct on everything. I looked at the chart before I went on. I know it's like the end of this week. Yeah, Thursday. So we're only 2 days away from it slowing. You know, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Don't believe everything. There's so much that we really want to feel like we know, like it's totally clear in our lives right now. Like, oh, I know this is happening. Oh, I know that this is the right way. And you feel like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the passion that I have. This is the desire. I'm going to put all my positivity behind this, you know, and then all of a sudden it falls apart. That is the illusion, delusion, and confusion that's being created with these astrological energies. And when you have Venus conjoined to Mercury retrograde in a square, and squares are tension, it's not an easy aspect, over to Chiron, the wounded healer. Thank you, that's who I wanted to bring through. Chiron, the wounded healer, which I like to call the wounded leader, because really Chiron, the centaur, you know, he was the outcast. He was the fucking awkward one. He was not wanted. He was abandoned and tossed away by his own godparents. And he had to reinvent himself with a caring, loving heart. And he ended up being the teacher to all of the gods. And that's where we get astrology. So I'm just saying, that's an Aries. The I am that I am, the very first of the zodiac. And I know Aries well. I have an Aries moon, I have Aries parents, and I have an Aries daughter. And I've worked with many Aries. Lovely, passionate, go-getters, man. You can't stop a fucking Aries. Aries just goes. But sometimes they need to learn to soften. Sometimes it's okay to step back and say, you know what? I need to give myself a minute here to just soften and breathe and be okay in these energies, because I know that the energies are intense, because I follow the astrology and I follow what's happening and I listen to my heart. You know, we never put the astrology, and that's the other thing when I channel, my nose runs, so excuse me. We never put the astrology or anything above our own guidance system, because your own inner guidance system is going to guide you if you stop and pause and ground and breathe. You know, a lot of time I'm like, oh, okay, let me just stop here for a minute and just take a breath. Let me just, like, something's like shit hit the fan 10,000 times for me this week. And what is it? Fucking Tuesday? Like, I'm like, seriously. And I still managed to get to the dentist yesterday. I still managed to go do all the returns from the TikTok shop items that I bought that came and they weren't either broken or they weren't what they said they were. So I had to turn it back. And I thought to myself, I should know better than buying a lot of shit in the middle of a Mercury retrograde while Saturn is slowing down to go stationary direct. You know, I should have known better. But of course, late night TikTok shop, I have an issue. It's like, oh, it's been a shitty, horrible day. I need those candy cane things in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you just want to do it. So, anyway, I just wanted to jump on here. I wanted to make sure that because I'm going live this Friday, but I know that, and I normally I'm live every Thursday, but I've been having challenges with internet. I've been having a lot of challenges with a lot of things. I'm also a caregiver to a special needs 31-year-old son, and life is tough. I'm also a widow times 2. And I deal with a lot of different things, just like you. And I love you. And I mean that. I work for the collective. My job is not to please anybody, but to work for the collective as a conduit of light, but also honor the shadow and the depths and the trauma. So many people have been through so much trauma. I am a trauma specialist, and a death doula minister, as well as a sound healer. I wear many different hats. And I am not asking for clients right now because I cannot give any more. I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from, okay? If you want to get on my waiting list, you can reach me with my email, sparklesastro@gmail.com, or you can always just reach out to me, and I'll give you any information that you need, okay? And then we'll go from there. One last thing, going into this holidays, the next couple of days, as Mercury slows down, we do have a beautiful alignment with Venus in trine to Jupiter. Trine, harmony, triangle, trine, harmony, harmonious aspect. Jupiter in Cancer blows everything up around home, family, security, structures, your ancestrals. And then when it's trining into Venus in Scorpio, is that right? Yeah, I'm right. And that's happening tomorrow morning. And I'm coming from the aspect of Central Texas in the United States, FYI. So you'll have to adjust for your time zone. And then it's trining into Saturn, because this is right before Venus is about to leave Scorpio and enter into Sagittarius. So it's hitting that trine aspect, flowing a lot of emotions, flowing a lot of intuition, higher mind, higher guidance coming through the heart space. So I have said, if it is attached to fear frequency, the answer is no. If it is spiritually aligned and attached to love frequency, then the answer is yes. And if you don't know the answer is no. You will know definitively from your heart, not your mind. This is not a cycle about using your mind. Your analytical mind is not going to help you through these cycles for the next 6 months, okay? This is severely, hugely heart space knowing, not your mind. Thanksgiving is going to be challenging. I literally wrote, this is my calendar that I just kind of keep up with everything, little notes, little downloads that come into me. I literally wrote on the calendar, if it's focus on the family that you get along with, that you love, and this could be friends, family, focus on them. If anybody has hurt you in the past, leave. Leave fucking immediately. Because this is the kind of combustible energy that stuff could blow up in your face. And it's better just to step away. Walk away from the situation. Even if they're just like, and you're like, excuse me, let me put my fork down and walk the fuck away. That's the best advice that I could possibly give you going into Thanksgiving. You want to know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving? Nothing. Zero. Nada. And I'm so happy to be doing nothing. Zero. Nada. I do not engage. I am not engaging in family dramas. Will not do it. I find that my peace is more important than honoring some pilgrims, if that should even ever really happened. Okay? I'm not that person. Smoke and fucking mirrors. And I literally put FK in on Friday, Black Friday. I would not spend money on smoke and mirrors. Second quarter moon, the day after Thanksgiving. Lies upon fucking lies upon fucking lies. Mercury's about to go direct on Saturday. Remind you that it has a post consequences. So just because we have a Mercury retrograde period for a few weeks doesn't mean that we don't have a pre-period and a post period. Okay, so really it's more like 6 weeks. Okay, it's a 6 week period, not this little Just because it's direct doesn't mean you're not going over some of that same shit that you have to review, reset, rest, and repeat. This is what I wrote across the top of my calendar for the month. Review, reset, rest, repeat. Review, reset, rest, repeat. Block, and that Mars square to those nodes. Wow. Hi. Thank you. That was cool. Nice. Peace. Yeah, that Mars that's square to the Black Moon Lilith, Mars and Black Moon Lilith to the nodes is happening now through the 28th. Although it may trickle to the 30th. You know, in general, all of this energy that we're experiencing now is setting us up for the subconscious structures subconsciously. Okay, this is nothing in the real 3D reality realm. This is all happening on the subconscious realm. Yee-haw, right on cowgirl. It's all happening on the that makes me laugh. Okay, that makes me laugh. I've never gotten that one before. Thank you. Anyway, that's so crazy. I can't even think now with the cowboy hat. I probably should just do this without looking at the screen. Sudden windfalls can come through on the weekend after Thanksgiving, this coming weekend. Sudden windfalls, like really good things could show up. So give the energy a minute to just kind of like do its thing. You know, like don't push anything right now. Allow. Don't be like it has to be this way or it has to happen this way or whatever. Like that's not going to help you at all. And then I put on the 30th of the month that on the last day of November, go out and have fun, because the tide does change and it will be better moving. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I mean, we're dealing with a lot of, okay, I'm going to smudge this stream because I'm feeling some weirdness coming from some people. There we go. Okay, thank you. That's another thing. I'm also a voodoo priestess. Okay, so fuck with me a little. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's a Scorpio stinger. She comes out every once in a while, and I don't mind using her. Thank you. Oh, jewelry. Oh, I like that. Thank you so much. So much fun. Okay, that's why I love TikTok, because it's always fun. Okay, so let's go over some bullet points heading into December. Okay, so in December, we are riding that fire horse. We're riding the flames of the fire horse. That'll start in February of next year. And next year's a big time to atone. There are going to be those of us that have been really treated wrongly, and those of us that have, genuinely given everything with our hearts wide open and have genuinely given all the love that we are to everything that we can. There's atonement coming. Yeah. Next year is a big year of atonement. But in December, so we have a lot of crazy aspects, but the coolest thing is Neptune is going direct. Okay. Neptune's going to go direct, and then Mercury's going to come into Sagittarius, and Mercury in Sagittarius does pretty good. I'm a Mercury in Sagittarius. And I think I do pretty good with that energy. I have an optimistic view most always, generally. But sometimes that Scorpio dark side. But that's the thing, is I'm a mature Scorpio. Okay, I'm a mature Scorpio. When I was younger, I had a hard time with the Scorpio energy and the madness and the just overall aggressive. I get very fucking pissed, but now I'm able to realize, recognize, understand before that energy comes and tries to take me out and take me over, and I'm able to step back. And my biggest triggering point has been my son. I mean, because my son, since 2 years old, has been in front of psychologists, and we've dealt with drug addictions. I've had multiple spouses die of drug and alcohol addictions. I am clean 7 years. proudly. I never was a super alcoholic, but I partied a lot more than I should. We all did. Well, at least most of the people I know has experienced that at some point in time. Although there are those few that I've met is like, I've never done that. And I'm like, wow, okay, it's so cool to meet you. Please let me pick your brain. Anyway, December, I'm calling it diving out December. Like, seriously, just dive out. If there's anything that you are not wanting, not needing, like, you know how normally you dive into something, dive out. Just dive out. Fuck it. It's fucking 2025 is over. I believe that, okay, so 2020 and 2025 are very much connected. It's a connected years, okay? So we're starting to get to where we're about to close this multiple major cycles out. And I don't need to list them all. You can look all that stuff up. But we are closing out multiple cycles. And we're shifting from an earth, water dominant structure. Earth meaning grounded and stable, in the 3D realm. And water meaning your intuition, your emotions, your day-to-day reality and how it is like flowing, and really emotional kind of fucking, energies. We're switching with the outer planets all moving at the same fucking time. The same year. That's huge. Some of these outer planets, they have a 146-year cycle. You see what I'm saying? Like these outer planets that are moving all at the same year, it's massive. It's massive. And they're moving into fire, your passions, your spirit, your moving forward, your aggression, and air, intellect, communications, thinking, speaking, AI. And if you're someone who is like against AI, sorry, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's just not. It's going to grow. It's going to cultivate. The more you embrace with integrity. We can be conscious AI creators with integrity. You see what I'm saying? Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Okay, let's put the glasses back on so I can see. Oh, I didn't talk about 3i Atlas. Okay, so 3i Atlas, no, it's not a ship. Okay, sorry. That's not a ship. It's a rock floating through space. Grow the fuck up. Seriously, really. But if you want to see ships, you can go out in your backyard around any time you choose. And you can look up at night and you'll see them. We see them all the time down here on Padre Island. We see them all the time on the coast. I see them over the water in the daytime. They're out there. You just have to have eyes to see. But no, it's not a ship. Good luck with that, with all of the conspiracy bullshit. No, it's a big rock. It's a really, really big rock. And yes, it has signals. And it is an energy vortex, okay? It's a vortex of energy, and it is something to pay attention to. It's not a ship. Hi. That's so cute. But I just wanted you to understand that Earth, where we are at, because that's what an evolutionary astrologer does, is we pay attention to the Earth energy through the tropical Western zodiac. Earth is going to pass through the tail within 4 to 5 months from now. Okay, so 4 to 5 months from now, we won't know exactly, but the way... Because if you don't understand how the cosmos work, okay, I'm trying to it's like, goes like this, right? And we're all circling, moving, spiraling through space, right? And so Earth is going to pass through the cosmic tail that's left behind. And this, my friends, is the period I'm most excited about. Because that is when we're going to be receiving all of those beautiful codes from 3i Atlas and in the amazing magnificence that this non-comet, interstellar, intergalactic, out of this, it's not from our realm, right? So it's blessing us with the trail. And I bet we have some incredible inventions come through during that time, 4 to 5 months from now, right before the nodes switch from North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo. Okay, so like a month before, throughout that period, I bet we have a lot of meteorites. I really am like, I've set my intentions that I am going to receive or be gifted or purchase a piece of the meteorites that are going to, because they're going to be falling all over the place from all of that huge rock that's floating through space. But really, grow the fuck up. This is not a ship. If it was a ship, it would be shown to you. You would see it. Okay? Seriously. Let's think our logical minds, even though that's really not what we're embracing right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. If you want a vision that it's a spaceship coming to save you, good luck with that. It's just like Jesus ain't coming to save you. He came to show you the way. Okay. I'm getting opinionated and I'm not trying to do that, but sometimes it just comes out. All right. So let's also, Jupiter oppose Pluto mid-July. That's a big, mid-July is going to be rocking. So like I wouldn't plan a massive trip, especially if you're Aquarius or Leo. I would do it at a different time period. Consult your local astrologer before you go planning a big trip. You don't plan a trip in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, especially if it's affecting your chart. Now, if it is affecting if it's not affecting your chart, then you're cool. Hit it. But if you want to just like, it's like making decisions with the flow of the energy is always so much easier than going in resistance to the energy, right? And that's the wisdom of astrology. And this is why I love this, because I've watched it play out so many times in my life, in other people's lives, and everyone's life. And it's the study of cycles. That's why I love it. Another time period, mid-August, we have a total solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse mid-August. So July, August, big period. Now, and it will be like Africa, Egypt, Israel, Europe, all of that area there will get the total solar eclipse. So yeah, there you go. If you're wanting to get activated, go ahead and start planning your trip over there right now. And I'm trying to see if I have anything else to speak of. Oh yeah. So spring equinox is going to be tough. And Aries season is going to be tough. I mean, let's fucking face it. It's going to be tough from now until 2027, maybe 2028. This momentum of this energy that can just continues to pound us will start to lighten up 2027, but it may not go away completely. But I can guarantee you that by 2028, it's going to feel a lot different, and it's going to be a lot different than it is right now. And, you know, I also feel like from now until, so let's look at this small section. From now until the equinox, the more you can flow and not be in resistance to everything, the more that you can literally just say, fuck it. Instead of fighting it, the better off you will be. And the more you can put yourself first above all, including your children and your family, the better off you're going to be. Look, it's just like the fucking airplane, right? Like if you're on an airplane, put the mask on you, then the kid. It's the same thing with these kind of energies. You don't want to sit there wondering, if I had just shut my mouth, or if I had just not done that act, or if I had not just made that phone call, would it have been a little bit easier on myself and then those I love around me? Versus, you know, just allow, especially this fucking week, shut up. Just shut up. Just be quiet. Just do your best not to try to let your ego take the wheel, you know? Like, don't, what you desire, although it's really hard right now because Sagittarius is like, oh yeah, all this optimism, oh, let's go. Da, 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 da. And there's this underlining energy that's going, ha, you thought you were going to get what you desired, did you? Okay. Universe has something different in mind than what you desire, dear one. So, in other words, the more you can just release resistance to having what it is that the ego desires and just really step back, allow the energy to process. There's so many people that are just in such detrimental states right now. You know, there's so much pain, so much hurt, homeless, you know, and remembering that you're so fortunate to be exactly where you are. Because if you're in a human flesh suit and you're alive and breathing, you're fortunate. You are. Think of the less fortunate, even in your unfortunateness. So with closing, I'm going to read something my dear brother, Rene Moreira, blessed me with this book, The Dolphin Alchemy and Dolphin Magic, The Healing Power of the Dolphins by Susan Luella Dillon. Yeah. And I never read a book cover to cover because I'm dyslexic. So we're just going to read wherever. This is where I opened it to. This is what told me get on live right now. And so I'm just going to read these two little things and then I'll hold it up to the screen if you want to screenshot it. All right. So what dolphins want humans to know? Chapter 3. Like literally this is where it opened to. I was like, okay, here we go. Here's a message from the dolphins. So take this into your heart, take a deep breath and allow the frequency codes of the dolphins who are extremely much higher intelligence than we are. All right, here we go. The dolphins' guidance and unconditional love is free to anyone and everyone who will call upon them. You do not need to be, I'm getting chilled all over. You do not need to, in physical contact with the dolphins, to talk to them. Dolphins want humans to know how powerful love is and how powerful it is to choose love. They want us to wake up and see who we really are, our truest selves. They want us to know that our beauty is more glorious than our minds can conceive of at this point in time. The following list includes some of the important things the dolphins want us to know. Love unconditionally. You know, it has taken a lot for me to love my daughter after how much pain she has inadvertently inflicted upon my heart, not being able to see my grandstars, my beautiful, like precious, like all of my life. I'm a South Node Cancer. I'm a South Node Cancer. That means I was a Cancer in a past lifetime. I was probably a mother to 15 children. I might have been a woman living on a plantation with 15 children. You know, who knows? I mean, but I have had the most amazing grandparents, and I always wanted to grow up and be a grandmother. And I was a yaya because I'm Greek. And I got to spend the first couple of years, few years really, with my eldest granddaughter, and then the new granddaughter I've only seen twice. Don't even know her, really. And in order for me, I was really, really hurt for a very long time. Because she won't talk to me. I mean, she barely kind of started talking to me, a little text here and there if I instigated it. But I still haven't got to wish my grandchildren happy birthday. I don't receive pictures. I'm fortunate enough if she puts something out on TikTok because I still don't see her Facebook. It's tough. You love unconditionally, knowing that you're doing the best you can for your soul's path, right? That's all we can do. Sorry, messages from the dolphins. Focus on positivity. Yeah, what's the positive aspect to the shitstorm you're in? Well, it could be worse. If that's the most positive you could get, there's a positive. There's always a positive to be found in every negative situation. It wouldn't be Earth School if we didn't have both. Live in the present moment. That's all there is. So we live in a quantum reality. And all time is like a line, right? Like if you wanted to envision like a graph, like there's a line, right? Okay. And back over here was like 36 AD. And right here is 900 BC or whatever. And here is 1989, the year you were born. And then here is the year that, you discovered your wife and so on. So there's a timeline, right? But in the singularity of your inner vision, which is connected to your highest self, your highest soul, also connected to the source of all other souls who act as a mirror in relationship to you, time is just happening right now, and all you have is right now. That's it. It's all just right now. What's happening in the next moment isn't here, and what's happening in the past never happened, never existed. We do higher consciousness awareness work with you, and we can help you project your consciousness back down that timeline or forward and allow that integration to settle in, right? We've had very good teachers. So just keep that in mind. Live in the present moment. That's all there is. Okay. Live with the unrestrained joy. Live in joy and bliss. Live with unrestrained joy. Like that's really what the dolphins want you to know, is that if you live in a joyful heart, even when the hard stuff comes in, it's a little bit easier. It like puts a buffer. And I'm getting a vision of like bumper cars. Remember when you were a kid and you'd go and you'd ride the bumper cars and they have like the little bumpers, but you had to have that like staticky thing that was like electric up above your head? Okay, so that is like a perfect example of living in joy, because you're constantly getting the static thing, which is source, your source. You are God, you are creation, you are all creation. It is only you. You are only one here. So you're constantly getting that energy that's coming and flowing to and through you at all times. Yeah, just like a fucking bumper car in the old days. And if you didn't get the static thing, I don't know, maybe try to find one. I don't know if they do it like that anymore. There's probably some crazy regulations against them now. But I always used to remember looking up going, wow, look at those static things coming off of there as I'm bumping in. But you got the bumper cars to keep you protected. That's interesting. All right, let's see what else we have. Laugh and play like a child. Just be yourself and don't worry. And you can't do you wrong. Say it. There's no one else like me, and I can't do me wrong. Let go of shame and guilt. Come out to play. Let go of shame and guilt and come out to play. Who gives a shit what other people thinks? If I want to do naked gardening in my backyard, I'm going to do it. If I want to dance naked in the rain, I'm going to do it. And I don't give a shit. I'd let my son know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be naked in the backyard, so don't be bothered to come out there unless you want to see all of this beautifulness, I don't know why that's coming forward, but I mean, it's like, whatever. Programs, fucking humans have so many programs that they have placed upon us. Why? Why do we have to have all these programs? It's like, oh, you can't do that or you shall be shamed. How dare you do that? Fuck that. The dolphins want you to live without shame, live in joy and bliss. All right, let go of shame and guilt. Come out to play. Okay, we got 4 more of these on the list that the dolphins want humans to know. You don't need any money or possessions to be happy. Wow. Do you know, I was really, really happy when I was poor. I always thought that I needed more money. And then when I got it, not as happy. I do my best to be happy, but am I truly, genuinely happy all the time? No. I find myself a lot of the time wondering what the hell I'm doing on this planet and why I came here. So I just keep doing my work, which is my North Node of Fate, Capricorn. And I continue to strive to do the best that I can and live in a blissful, joyful heart. Even through the hard shit, even through the hard shit, I just keep going. Fucking A. Last thing, let go of your fear and enter the realm of all possibility and love unconditionally. It started with love unconditionally and ended with love unconditionally. Let go of your fear and enter the realm of all possibilities. That's the thing. Fear frequency has been turned up with this astrology this week. And people that are not awake and aware are not going to understand. So they're going to freak out because they're not in control. The biggest message here is you don't have control of anything. Your highest self, God, source, creator, has control of all of that. So it's kind of easier. It gives you like a backstage pass to like the greatest show on earth. Right? And just like the bubbles. Okay, so what does a dolphin do? Dolphins swim in the ocean, right? And just like the bubbles that are coming up, all of your thoughts and your ideas and how you feel, most generally, how you feel, your feeling frequencies. And that's strong with this grand water trine happening this week. All of that energy just floats to the surface and pop, 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 pop. What do you think happens when it hits the air? Those feelings, those ideas, those frequencies, everything you're doing. You might as well look like all of us, all of this like that's around me, right? Not the items, but the actual air energy that's around me is like us being in a swimming, it's like swimming through water, but we breathe in air. The frequency of the dolphin doesn't breathe in air until it goes to the surface, right? But we can't breathe underwater without a tank or some kind of mouth snorkeling thing, right? So I wonder if all the other fish in the sea, because they can't breathe air unless they're a mammal, I wonder if they think that we're suffocating up here. Wow, that's something to ponder. Interesting. I'm just hearing, set yourself free. It doesn't matter either way. Okay. I love you all. I'm so glad that you tapped in with me here on this little TikTok live. I don't often do the TikTok lives impromptu like this, but I felt very called, very strongly to remind everyone that there's a big fear frequency with these astrological energies that's swirling. Although there's some very positive energy that's on kind of like another level, So it's going to depend on each of you separately where you're at. Please know your birth chart. Astrograph, astrograph.com is an amazing online service that gives you free birth chart, and it gives you a whole lot more intel to you than others. I've used it many times. It's not I use Astro Gold software now. It's professional software that I purchased, but it's good for free if you need a free birth chart, and it breaks down everything, every planet, every aspect. It breaks down every house placement, all of the stuff. It breaks it down in words that you can ingest and understand on a regular level, because a lot of the time, if you're new to astrology, it sounds like a completely different language. So I always put people there first. And finally, just remember, if you happen to be around on Friday, I will be live at 5 p.m. Central. That'll be 6 Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Walk in the light and spread the sparkle. We'll see you next time.